Welcome to this Saturday devotional. We are in Leviticus 27, and this is a sort of continuation from Leviticus 26, in which they talked in great depth about the redemption of people and beasts and land in the year of Jubilee. And so here in 27, there's this kind of appendix, this kind of legalese on what that actually means and how to actually do it. And we see through Leviticus 27 several times it talks about specific monies owing. It tells specifically that in cases where somebody could not pay or it's debated, that the priests would offer a fair price of what they thought the person could do. And for those of us who aren't familiar with some of these Old Testament offering systems, it's simply kind of this, that on top of a tithe, we know that we can give free will offerings, we can give gifts, we can dedicate things to the church, to God, to charity, to specific situations. And so just like that in the Old Testament, people on top of their tithes, what is demanded of them, they would give offerings to God, to the sanctuary, and that would be a show of dedication. It would be a show of piety. It would show their reverence to God. It would be thanks for His gracious abundance given. And so with that, though, this is kind of giving a way of substitution. That if you were to vow a person under your household, a piece of land, animals, and you needed to renege on that or want to renege on that or what have you, it was pretty inappropriate to take back what was given to God. And so here we see this redemption as an offering of substitution, that you would keep your honor to God in that you devoted it, but that you could make a substitution. And in this case, often money would be given. And so you could, or somebody could redeem somebody who was dedicated, or a piece of land that was dedicated for whatever that was worth, so that God and His sanctuary would still be whole. But you could also honor your vow. And so here we can get lost sometimes in these notes of who and how much, and lose sight a little bit of just how gracious this is that God would allow substitutions. But then also as a showing of what, even in the very beginning of Judaism, how much offering, giving thanks to the Lord is to be normal. That yes, there is the tithe, and yes, there is what is required, but that they would have to have a whole system in place for all of the conditions that could take place for that which is dedicated to God, which is given back to Him. The one interesting note near the end is that there is a portion in which it is made very clear that no firstborn offerings or tithe should be redeemed back, that you are to count that as already God's. So there is a bare minimum. You can't just, if you have money, to take back everything and live whole, just pay it off. And so to keep that in mind, that there is this premise that there is a bare minimum expected that is just God's. And so this morning, to just reflect on His graciousness, that He would allow us substitution, that He would allow us to, even when we struggle to keep our word, that He would make way for us to keep our word, that He would reach out in that way to us, that He would accept that He would allow us to redeem and to be redeemed. And also to note that there is, in this covenant relationship with him, still an expectation of us, that there is still a price, and that we would count that cost and be happy. So, Lord, I just pray that you would teach us, Lord, how to make you a part of every aspect of our lives. That you would teach us sacrifice, that you would teach us humble living. God, that you would teach us as a community not to be in a rat race or keeping up with the Joneses, but that you would teach us how to honor each other's humility, that you would teach us how to honor each other's submission and sacrifice. Lord, that we would not be caught up in the same games of the world, but that we would love and respect each other, that we would encourage each other, that we would show each other how to live lives dedicated to you. And Lord, would you bless this church and this community as we live lives vowed to you. Amen.